Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pimps and simps, welcome back to the Mac Life, the #1 podcast here in the world. We're back for episode 139. And if you're new to the channel, okay, we've got absolutely everything to do with growing your brand online, monetizing that brand, social marketing for Onlyfans creators, and Onlyfans management. And you probably know, so, oh my God, he didn't even edit out that mistake. No, because I do these in podcast style format. So essentially, okay, me and you get a little bonding time at the start of this video. We get to go over some updates that are going on in real time, unedited podcast format, okay, and then we get into the juice at the end. Now today what we'll be looking at is the OnlyFans top 1% creator secrets. And if you're wondering, how can this guy give, advice on 1% creator secrets? I have more information available to me, okay, than anyone, even 1% creators. Why? Because I work with so many 1% creators. I consult with girls turning over 7 figures a year. And on top of that, I have over 500 members in my Discord server, both creators and managers. And I get access to all the accumulation of data, and I can basically see exactly what works and take you from a creator, if you already have a following, or a creator with no following, and get you to 6 figures in your first year, 7 figures. So the tips and tricks here apply across so many accounts. And the best thing is that they're not individualized. It's not just going to work for one creator. I've gotten to see essentially what works for the multitude of people rather than just one person. Now, I've been filming all morning. I've upped the amount of content that I do. So we are going to get into the OnlyFans stuff at the end, but we have a few updates to get through today. And what I am going to do, I am going to show you my mate. Fucking ads. Are you dead set? Advertisement reclama. Get out of here. Now, if you're not aware, okay, I've been suffering with like a staph infection that I picked up while traveling through Indonesia, right at the end there. And I'm like on antibiotics. I'm really starting to come good now. It's pretty much gone. I got a few days worth of antibiotics left. My mate got it at the same time as me, and he tried to ignore it, okay? He tried to holistically ignore it. And like, I'm big in holistic health and the power of the mind, but some infections need immediate treatment. He's in hospital now, and I'm going to show you a photo of his leg, what it can progress to. So we're at 2 minutes 30. Let me write down the little timestamp for everyone. Also, let me know if I should get a soundboard. I think I should get a fucking soundboard, like, bing, with sound effects. One that's wireless, so I can just ding, ding, ding. Let me know down in the comments if you think I should. And hit subscribe. But, bing! That is my mate's leg, okay? He's in hospital. He's on an antibiotic IV drip so that they're intravenously pumping antibiotics into his body. And the problem with staph is what can happen is when it gets infected, okay, if the infection, the staph infection, goes from the surface of the skin into the blood, it can then be transmitted to the lungs, the heart, everything. And then essentially your body goes into shock, okay? You get sepsis and you die. That's what staph can progress to. So it's very, very important that you take care of yourself. And if you've noticed in the last couple of weeks' podcast, they haven't been as sharp, as clear mentally. I've been a little bit foggy, a little bit dizzy, a little bit dazed. I'm on a heavy course antibiotics plus fighting an infection. So that is why. That's my excuse anyway. And I was hoping to get the full leg piece done, but I had to wait until this infection's completely cured. Once this is gone, I'll be heading overseas again. I'm heading to New Zealand next. But after that, be heading back, most likely to Thailand, I think, and be getting my full leg done there. So I'm pumped for that too. I just feel this is not square today. It just feels a little bit off. What do you reckon? That better? Yeah, that's sexy. So, what I want to talk about today is I talk to you always about the consistency of hard work and putting in the hard work. Now, I've structured my day a little bit differently today. I've already pumped out a few reaction videos, and I've got one more to film after this. I'm upping the content to 4 to 5 pieces of content a day. And I looked at it and I was like, no one's working this hard. And anyway, I was searching away, and one of the videos that I reacted to this morning, hopefully that phone call doesn't cut out the filming. One of the videos I reacted to this morning, someone else had already reacted to it. And I was like, fuck, they're onto it straight away. And I clicked it. It was some nerdy dude's channel. He sits around playing World of Warcraft all day. And I was like, fuck. He's got 1.5 million followers. And I was like, how has he built such a following? I was like, he must just... I was hated by my own bias. I was blocked by my own bias. And I seen it and I was like, oh, he must just, play games and Twitch and this shit. He doesn't really work as hard as me. And it was this weird justification, or insecurity justification. I looked through and I looked, and this motherfucker, right, even though he plays games all day, He's dropping reaction videos and gaming videos every 3 hours. He has like a 45-minute fucking video come out. And I was like, fuck. He can't have been doing this a long time. And then I scrolled through. Boom, 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 boom. I'm scrolling through all this content. And that's only 2 months back. I'm like, fuck, he's putting in the goddamn work. So here I am preaching, putting in the work every day, what needs to be done to make money, to thrive as a business. This guy's outworking me, and that cannot be done. This gamer dude who's just sitting there playing games all day like a vampire, he's pastier than me, sitting in there, playing games all day, and he's putting out more content than the Max show. So 5 videos a day, we're upping it, 4 to 5 videos a day. Let's get this content rampant, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'll report back with the progress that takes place from there. So other than that, what's happened? There's not too many updates, really. I want to give a little testimonial, so let me write down this timestamp as well. We're at 6 mins. Okay, this is another Hiver who's recently joined. They've had like a month and a bit. Bing. Okay, so they've been inside the Hive for like a month and a bit. This is just one of the girls' accounts that they manage. Congratulations. Turned over 21K. Is that what it is? I've got the screenshot saved, but they turned over 21K net. Okay, profit. So split between them and the girl in the space of a month and a bit, they're already making 10K. They're already taking home 6 figures a year. And like, people are just squandering their chance by not being inside of the Hive mind. If you don't know what the Hive is, it's like all the training for OnlyFans. You get all the OnlyFans masterclass, e-commerce, absolutely everything. Plus it's our community. We got 500 plus members of creators and managers doing the same fucking thing. Okay, so think, how much time can you shave off your learning if you're in a community where you encounter a problem and you just ask someone who's been doing it a month also and they're earning 6 figures? Or someone who's been doing it 3 or 4 months and now they're doing 7 figures. You know how much fucking time you can save by being in that power community? And I monitor the community so goddamn heavily. If you're not putting in the work, you're out, okay? And the exact same thing with any negativity. You're not in a community where there's any bitching, politics, negativity. It's just we're there to make fucking money and make each other money. And so this is a power community. Now, that being said, what else am I doing? I want to give back to the Hive. You know, the Hive is making me significant amounts of money per month now, reoccurring revenue, and I want to give back to the Hive. So, you know, I sent off some messages. I had to consult with my lawyer and make sure that the way in which things are set up, it's not a sweepstakes and whatnot. But essentially, you don't need to worry about the legalities of it. I will be doing a monthly giveaway for Hive members. So if you're inside the Hive, I haven't decided, okay, what the prize will be yet. It'll be a good prize. Like, it'll either be a big cash giveaway or it'll be, who knows, a heap of phones for the Tinder automation, or it might be a Versace fucking robe. I love Versace robes. Just ordered 2 more. Might be a Versace robe, might be whatever, okay? Might be something designer, something this, something that. I'll be giving away something every single month for Hivers, and we'll be doing like a live giveaway inside the Hive. And I thought, how can I reward people? Well, the biggest reward that I like is consistency. And so, sure, some people might get good results some months, some people might work hard and clock in the most hours, put in the most reps, but it's people who are consistent. So every single month that you stay inside the Hive, your entries go from 1 to 2. So if you're in the Hive for 1 month, okay, you get entered into the draw when I do the live draw, okay, and you have 1 entry. Your second month you're in there, you now have 2 entries put in. The third month you stay inside the Hive, you have 3 entries. So what I'm building is on consistency. People who are consistent, people who are there, people who are putting in the work, your chance to win and be rewarded will be increased as well. So I feel that's a great give back. And like I said, I'm still open to suggestions for prizes. If you're inside the Hive, you can hit me up with suggestions. And I might split it up some month and do 2 people will get rewards. Some months it'll be one person. But, you know, giving back, being able to give back is great. And the Hive community, we are fucking mopping now. We are mopping. So the amount of stuff in there, like this is why I called it the Hive Mind, the collective intelligence, the amount of shit that we're able to acquire over other communities is unbeatable. You know, we got people showing each other how to set up, you know, I was looking through this morning, how to order, 100 proxy modems with USB straps with 100 different proxy setups for your house, like $6,000 packages, ways you can set shit up to completely set up your own proxy network, like just things you wouldn't believe that are taking place inside of the Hive to maximize the amount of money. We're built just a fucking power community. And when OnlyFans 2.0 comes out, which I've been working on so heavily, you aren't going to believe how easy it is to succeed. Essentially, you're taking you're going to be either as an agency or a creator, and there'll be both. You take the theme liquids, you upload it to Kajabi, and then you have the highest converting funnel there possible. And essentially what's going to happen is, imagine you're a agency owner. You upload your funnel, okay? And now you drive all your traffic to this same opt-in page. They all go to the exact same opt-in page. And then there are going to be A/B split test opt-in pages based off how many creators you have working for you at the time. But essentially you accumulate this massive customer email list and plus other stuff. There's extras on top of that. Not only do you accumulate this list, they all get fed through to become subscribers to your girls on OnlyFans. And then outside of that, you're collecting external data. Plus, they're getting email marketed to. I'm getting a phone call from my dad. You're getting email marketed to every single day. Products are being pushed. Upsell products, $1,000 plus products. Now, here's the crazy thing. As an agency owner, okay, the products that are being sold outside of the girl stuff, you can decide how much you want to keep on that. You can pay them an upfront fee each month. You can work out those metrics yourself. But essentially, you're building a massive fucking database of customers. And what happens is, the moment you sign up a new girl, and you're saying, well, I need to deliver results for her, it makes selling so much easier because she says, well, what's the value of working with you? You say, well, we have a 5,000 plus active OnlyFans subscriber email list, SMS list. Okay, you're just going to get blast marketed straight away from the get-go. So we're going to see a massive influx of sales across your account as well. Plus, then they're going through the upsell ladder for this girl. And it's like then all the data and all the customers that she has is also getting fed in. And it's like, it's called a flywheel, which is essentially, if you've read the book Bezos Economics, which is the way in which Jeff Bezos made his business, okay? It's a flywheel that builds to the point where it operates itself too fast for you to even need to intervene. Like, for example, with the Amazon model, okay? More sellers join, okay, which makes the product selection bigger, which makes customers happier, okay, but it's all fed through their logistics. They know customers are going to be happy because of the fact in the way in which the sellers need to basically compete against each other. And they're competing against each other, making the price of the products lower, which Jeff Bezos calculates. Okay, so it makes the customers even happier. And what happens is more sellers join, and then they go, oh, fuck, well, we can't compete against Amazon because it's getting bigger. So even more sellers join, offering a bigger selection of product, making the customers even happier. And it's just built now to this point where it's like he's taking over the entire economic chain of the world. And we're essentially doing this within the OnlyFans market where the more girls you get on, the more data you have, the more value you can provide. Okay, the bigger your lists get, the easier it is to acquire girls. The more girls you get on, the more data you get, the more money you can make. And it's just a 7-figure machine. And it's all managed in one place. All your shit is managed in one fucking system. You have to understand how powerful that is and how sellable that makes your business in the future as well if you want to sell. So OnlyFans 2.0 is going to be massive. I'm capping it to how many members I'll offer it to inside of the Hive, and it will not be available to other people. And then what I'll do is each year I'll also rehash the OnlyFans masterclass and continue to build and build. And each year we will continue to add shit like this. We'll just continue to make it better and better and better and better. And I'm going to cap it, you know, this is an altruistic thing, the way in which I'll be selling the OnlyFans 2.0. You know, the money that comes from that, I have to have a chat with my accountant about how in which is the best way tax-wise to do this. But essentially all that will be used to pay out different family members' homes. So, you know, I'm not keeping really any of the money that comes from these OnlyFans sales. It'll just be to pay out my family. I already have plenty of money, and that'll give freedom back to my family's life as well as offering value to every one of you guys. You know, the reason why I haven't released 2.0 is the amount of data that I'm getting, and people don't understand all the different things that I'm running to accumulate this data, and the way in which I'm making it so crisp, so perfect. It's going to be drop it, boom. And if you think, but I'm a creator, how does this benefit me? There's a funnel for you where it's just like, rather than just selling through OnlyFans where you just have a single platform, you've now got a system, an ecosystem that is working for you. Okay, it's upselling all of your shit. It's acquiring customer data externally from OnlyFans, driving it all through your Kajabi software, where, you know, if customers leave, it has an automatic email system that's sending out to help reduce your churn rate, bring more people back on, upsell over time, meaning you can cold email, cold reach out to people who have been on and left. It's building you a system that is going to 10x the work you could put in yourself on OnlyFans. And so this is going to be fucking big. And it's one of my biggest altruistic things in terms of what I'm giving back to the community in terms of where the proceeds will go. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to do it, but there's a lot of work still to go, and that will only be available for Hive members and will not be. You know, when I release it, I'm thinking of making it so that it will only be available to people who are already inside the Hive. If you're thinking I'll wait for 2.0 and then join the Hive, it won't be available to you. It will only be available to people who are already in the Hive. So the Hive is continuing to grow at a rapid rate, and we are taking over the entire fucking OnlyFans industry. So that's 2.0. And yeah, like it's really about doing the reps, putting in the reps. You know, I talk about this every single day, putting in the reps, putting in the work. Volume over time will equal your success. It's really all it is. And that's why I decided to label the giveaway like that. I thought, you know, people who stay inside longer, okay, you're going to get rewarded for putting in the reps and putting in the time, because that's the community we want. We don't want a community that drops in, drops out. And that's why if you leave the Hive, you can't rejoin the Hive. We want a community where you join and you're around other people who are either trying to make something of themselves, or people who have put in the reps daily and are making something of themselves, or who have made something of themselves. There's no flakes. There's no time wasters in the Hive. I think the very last thing that I want to mention before we get into the OnlyFans creator tips, and I've got really good structure for it. Hit subscribe. No, the other thing that I want to mention is I was listening to an Alex Hormozi podcast. Who's definitely been my biggest inspirational business mentor that, you know, I haven't met, but my biggest mentor in terms of growth for this year. And he talks about constantly systemizing and changing your thought frameworks. And I had a really big revelation in the last couple of days in the way in which I systemize frameworks in my head. You know, I've always had this concept that once I hit a certain level, I can employ certain family members or friends to take over certain roles and bring them on and help them financially. But I've been trying to do that for such a long time, and like I can even offer them financially things, and people can be their own worst enemies. And it's like, you know, it's crazy. I can chat with family members and friends and I can tell them exactly what they need to do to get rich within a year. I can tell them exactly what they need to do to make money within a year. And not just tell them. I have the credibility behind me that I've shown them that I've done it. And they still will not act on it. And for some reason internally, I felt like I have to be the pusher. And I'm constantly pushing. Like they need this. But some people are so trapped in their programming, unfortunately, that they can't be helped. And the biggest thought framework shift that I've had is, how much time, effort, attention, and energy am I wasting trying to change people who at the moment, maybe they do over time, but at the moment do not want to be changed, rather than just accepting that that's who they are, okay, and being a better person for these people. You know, if they want to complain about their problems, they need someone to listen, rather than telling them, these are what you need to fix. Maybe just, if I care about them and I want these people in my lives, just listen. Just listen. That's all they actually want, is someone to listen to their problems. I already have all these people who watch these podcasts, watch everything else. You are actively changing your lives. You know, I've changed, I believe not thousands anymore. It would be tens of thousands of people's lives I have changed, from making nothing to making at least something online, all the way up to making 7 figures online a year. And like the amount of people, I've definitely had over 10 to 15 people now who have said, bro, you've been a big influence. I've learned from you. I've learned this. You know, I learned Shopify, I learned e-commerce, I learned this. I'm now turning over 7 figures a year. The amount of people who I've helped, it's insane. And inside the OnlyFans stuff as well, inside the Hive Mind, we teach e-commerce. That's where I come from. And Adam is essentially running, he was my ex-business partner. We worked together on a lot of different businesses. For the whole stage 3 scaling, he will be providing pretty much all the videos on how to do it. Why? Because he has surpassed me in terms of credibility in e-commerce. Sure, I have massive success in e-commerce. He's currently operating 2, about to be a 3rd 7-figure store, all built within the space of months in the same year, okay, just using Facebook ads, nothing else. So essentially he's running 2, about to be 3 stores, turning over 7 figures a year, okay, in the e-com space, just from Facebook ads and AliExpress products, and then building out supply chains and building off of that. You know, the amount of value that Adam's going to be able to provide in the stage 3 is going to be fucking crazy. So if you're in the e-com space as well, there's obviously value inside the Hive. We have the whole e-com channel there. And on top of that, you know, you can do 6 figures a year with e-com that I showed just from Facebook Marketplace. We have different scaling methods. Stage 2 of how to use Facebook Marketplace to quantify products for free you don't need capital to start. How to use Facebook Marketplace and build up and then scale from that method. But that being said, don't say, I thought it was free. If you're one of these dumb fucks that are like, I thought your training was free, shut the fuck up. Of course the training's not free. I'm teaching you how to use Marketplace with no capital needed to make money. The people who want something for nothing are always going to be poor, simply for the fact that they have a loser's mindset. They have the constant, they don't respect their own time. They'd rather scour the internet for hours and days upon days for the free information rather than pay to shortcut the time and have something structured. And it's like inside the hive, the videos aren't like the podcast. You know, it's crazy. People are like, holy fuck, like, you know, you give so much information away on the podcast. Yeah, if you want to sit there and listen through all of them. The way in which the videos are inside the hive are concise, 2 to 3 minute, do this is the framework, do this. Then go on to the next video. There's no fluff, there's no stories of my life, there's none of that shit. It's just do this, do this, do this. If you're struggling with this, okay, refer to this framework, okay? You need to fix maybe the amount of time you put into it, maybe the amount of effort you put into it, maybe the amount of, attention and energy and actually recording and measuring and managing. Okay, do this. It's concise. It's concise, 2 to 3 minutes. Do these steps, win. So that's it in terms of the updates today. But like I said, the biggest framework change that I had was really thinking to myself, like, I already have people who I'm actively helping out there. You know, I don't need to try and convince others. It's more a credibility thing in my own head that I've put in an immense amount of time trying to help family members and friends that don't want to change at the moment. And it's like, that's fine. Okay. Just use that extra effort, attention and energy on this community of people. And more so than that, on building my own business. You know, I was writing down my goals for when I'm 37, which is over 10 years from now. But, you know, I want to be turning over $100 million a year by 37. I will be turning over $100 million a year. You know, I could be putting that time and attention into learning more languages. You know, I already speak Russian pretty well. You know, I speak a little bit of Spanish, a bit of Thai. And, you know, I want to fluently speak, well, fluent, you can define fluent differently, but я хочу говорить свободно. I want to speak freely in at least 5 languages. And I feel that'll be, you know, English, obviously, it's my родной язык, Russian, Spanish, Thai, and probably Japanese as well. I'll put my time and attention into learning language and these other things, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. So, as well as traveling, we still have a lot of countries left to see. Don't worry, we're going to be dropping more little hot vlogs. Okay, I'll probably do just more exciting ones when I actually have shit planned on those days as a reflection, rather than trying to do the daily vlog, which is something I'll never do again. But we're going to get videos of traveling through every single country in the world. You know, building myself as a person, a credible person. You know, when you're in your 30s and you're in your later 30s, people want to come to you and they go, well, what have you accomplished? You know, I'm worth $100 million. You know, I've built a massive social following. I've helped, you know, millions of people. You know, people respect me. I've got a good friendship group. I've got a good network. I've helped out all my family financially. You know, I've traveled to every country. I speak different languages. I understand different cultures. And you want to be a person of value. I've realized really what it is, you know, I talk about value in every single thing. And I talk about that in business as being the number one way to succeed is really just understanding value and providing value. And it's like, how can you do those frameworks for you as a person in life? Think about value in life. We talk about the value ladder and the value, the 4 metrics of value, dream outcome. Okay. If you want to be a person of value, you have to be living someone else's dream outcome. They can't look at you and you're a bum. They can't look at you and you're working towards it. They look at you and you are a self-made multi-millionaire, 100 millionaire. You're not a person who's learning language. You're a person who speaks 5 languages. You have all these people's dream outcomes. You're not a person who's getting fit. You're a person who is fit. You know, you can fight. You're a jiu-jitsu black belt. Whatever value is of your dream outcome, but you have the dream outcome. Okay, you have speed. If you want to help that person, you can do it in real time. It's not, over 20 years I can help you. It's like, this is what you need to do. I can help you right now. You know, you can help them reduce the amount of effort and workload that they'd have to put into their life to succeed. And I'm forgetting the other part. It's hard to calculate formulas while also speaking on camera. But you want to be able to provide these valuable things in life, more so than just in business. I've realized internally you want to become a person of value. Okay, you want to become a person of value. So and increased. The fourth one's increased likelihood of success. They want to look at you and go, fuck, you've also helped a lot of other cunts do this. I know you can help me. I know there's a good chance it's going to work. So that being said, let's get into the OnlyFans content. We have 5 essential main things that'll get you to become a top 1 creator, or the top 1 secrets of top 1 percenters. These are things that you can apply right now, and I can take people who make 6 figures, and by applying these 5 things, they make 7. I take people who are earning 5 figures and help them make 6 figures. I take people who are earning nothing and they get to their first 5 figures and then 6 figures very quick by applying these things. So these are the secrets that other people won't share with you. These are the legit, we're not boss girl, so just be yourself. You know what it's like. You just want to be yourself. These are no tips like this. This is practical shit that has been applied over every single fucking person and tested numerously across multiple girls' accounts. Okay? These are the things. Number 1, by far, is pricing. I talk about this in every fucking video, and I'll continue to do it until I hammer it into your head. Premium pricing. You need to charge a premium. $100 or $50 per piece of content. Okay? Videos, a couple $100. Okay? It's very, very important that you're charging a premium. Stop trying to compete on price. Competing on price just means you don't know how to compete on value. It means you don't know how to provide more value. It's like when you look at Supreme, why do they not compete on price? Because they can create an urgency economy. They can create a value economy where people they're like, oh fuck, they feel something. They can show off, whether it's social status, whatever it is. They're not competing on price, because really, what are they? If they're selling a Supreme shirt that's a couple $100, it's just a t-shirt. If they were to compete on price, they say, well, we can put the Supreme sticker on for $1 and the cotton t-shirt in bulk only costs us $1 to make. Let's compete on price and sell them. Kmart sells them for $4. Let's sell them for $3. They're not going to be a fucking successful business, and nothing like they are, okay? You never want to compete on price, compete on value. How can you deliver more value and charge more money? That's the number 1 thing. Trust me, by far, the number 1 most important thing. The next thing is active work hours. How many actual hours are you working? How many active hours are you putting in? And we get caught up, I talk about nootropics and having my coffee and getting the right sleep. These things are all important, but they shouldn't be necessary to grind out the work hours. Even while I felt sluggish, even while I felt sick, even while on antibiotics, even while I've had these things, I've still been putting in the hours. How many actual active hours are you working? And I'm not talking about, I had lunch and, I worked 10 hours today, but you had a 2-hour lunch break and you went driving with your friends for an hour and you woke up and you got your morning routine in and you had your cold shower and you had your coffee. Those aren't work hours. They are not active work hours. How many actual hours are you putting in and tracking? And, okay, if you have teams, how many actual hours are you working as a collective unit? If you have teams and you say, yeah, well, I have someone handle that, okay? Then what are you doing with your hours? You only have someone handle something, okay? What if you could handle the messaging yourself, okay, but instead you want someone else to do it, okay? You're not making more money by having them do it unless you're replacing those hours yourself productively. If you're saying, well, I've got my 10 hours back, you're not at a level in business, unless you're reaching your financial goals each year, you're not at a level in business where you can do that. You're not the Max Show, okay? You need to be putting them in that role only because you understand that your hours could be spent better off elsewhere. Otherwise, they shouldn't be working 10 hours, on the fucking reply to messages. They should be working 4, and you should be working 6 of them. You need to be clocking in the hours every single day, okay? So if you want to make more money, it's very simple. Do more. Most of you aren't putting in the volume. You need to do more. Next thing. Number 3, and this is another secret that you need to apply, is understanding client acquisition, okay? Understanding the difference in client acquisition. Look at marketing platforms and understand what is the most effective way to acquire clients, okay? And what is the most effective way to acquire high quality clients? And what's a high quality client? Someone who takes a minimal amount of your time, look at the leverage scale, for the maximum amount of money. That's all it is. The minimum amount of time that you can spend with them to provide value and the maximum amount of time and the maximum amount of money that they can deliver on. That's what you would need to understand. Now, when it comes to actual marketing, if you want the marketing, at the moment, that is the Tinder method. Use Tinder. Get 10 phones on Tinder, set them all up, sit there swiping constantly. Have Tinder Gold, so you have different locations. Sit there swiping and send them across. Okay, that is the best time. Okay, that is the best ROI in terms of time. Okay, because ads take a little bit different. They take skill set, they take capital, they take these other things. The next best thing would be TikTok organic posts, and then after that, it would be TikTok paid marketing. Now, if you're a manager as well, you have to factor in time searching for client acquisition for new clients. Remember, you might have 2 girls on board, but now you're stuck up in the day-to-day routines. Remember, if those girls are turning you over, maybe they're making you $5,000 a month, okay, each, so you're turning over 10K, but you're handling all the operations. Wouldn't it be better, okay, to pay someone 50% of that to handle all the operations that you handle now while you go and search for new talent? Because remember, you bring another girl on, that's another 5K. And that person that you have handling that role may be able to handle 5 to 10 girls. So all the next girls that you're spending time there acquiring new ladies, you might be able to offload them to that person, okay, and they're handling 10 accounts, and now you've 5x the amount of money you're making. So client acquisition from both sides as a manager and a creator. Now the next thing is churn mitigation. What incentivizations do you have in place to reduce churn? How are you reducing churn? Are you reaching out to people on the day before their subscription ends? Are you offering incentives or discount packages for them to, stay on board longer, to buy 3-month subscription packages rather than 1-month subscription packages? Are you nurturing the customer relationship and reaching out to them daily, not with just the intention to sell, but the intention to give back? Okay, reciprocity bias. How are you handling churn? Do you have their data off stream as well? Are you collecting email addresses? Are you collecting, their Instagrams? People say, oh, well, it's hard to get their email address because they won't allow it and stuff like this inside of Onlyfans. Ask them, hey babe, where did you find me from? Oh, well, I follow your Insta. Really? What's your name? I'll hit you back. Now save them inside an Excel sheet, and if they ever stop paying for you on OnlyFans, instead of saying, oh, well, they're a lost cause and focusing on new client acquisition, reach out. It's a lot easier to reconvert old customers. Reach out and say, hey, babe, what happened? And they say, oh, well, I'm just struggling this month. And you say, oh, I really wanted to chat with you, and maybe you could compete there, or maybe you could give them a discount for that 1 month and then go back to full price. But you're reaching out, okay? You have them all saved in an Excel sheet, and you're working on churn mitigation. And the reason why I talk about the OnlyFans 2.0 is it handles a lot of this automatically. It's a system you put in place, and it handles the churn mitigation. Now, the fifth thing, and this is by far the most important thing, is understanding a value ladder. You need a value ladder. Most of you just have subscription, okay, and you have messages. What else are you selling after that? Is it custom videos? Is it phone calls? And remember, if you're saying, yeah, well, I'm at a stage now where it's not worth my time. I already have this many subscribers, so for me to do an hour call, it wouldn't be worth my time. Incorrect. What would be worth your time for it to do? What would be worth your time? Okay, put a price point on that. If you're saying, oh, well, it wouldn't be worth my time, do you know the exact unit economics of how much that is? What is worth your time? We've got Posty dropping off something. I'm waiting on another Versace parcel to rock up. What would be worth your time? If you say, well, I could be working on getting new subscribers and this and that. Okay, well, what would an hour's phone call be worth? Maybe that's $800. Why aren't you offering that? You're just saying, oh, but people wouldn't pay that. It's a base rate fallacy. Offer it there. Have it sitting there. Some people will pay that. Some people are happy to pay that. For some people, $800 is nothing. It's like for me, if I was to consult, a YouTube mentor and I was to reach out, okay, and they say, well, I'm focused on my YouTube. I don't really have time to offer consulting calls. It's not worth my time. I'm already making $5,000 a month. And I say, oh, that's great. I could pay you $5,000 for the hour. And they go, holy fuck. For me, that's nothing to pay $5,000 for an hour, because that hour may save me a magnitude of time. If that even was to increase the amount of views that I was getting across my videos by 10%, that $5,000 is nothing. It is next to nothing. So you have to understand, for people will define value in their own ways. You can figure out that equation, but you need to have a value ladder. And then so maybe it's a phone call and it's $1,000 a call, or $400 a call, or $1,200 a call, whatever it is. It's an hour Zoom call. Or maybe it's $1,000 for a 30-minute Zoom fucking session, private session. Then you can work up used clothing, used panties. Okay, and you're saying, well, what's after that? Maybe it's a bundle. Maybe it's a custom note with a custom video with used clothing. And if they're into like real kinky shit where they like being a fucking like a slave or whatever, you fucking hit them with the fucking custom video where they've got the fucking panties on their face and they're jerking off. And that's a $5,000 package. And you say to them, like, I want you to wear these fucking panties on your face. You're going to Zoom me. We're going to have a half an hour session. I own you. You fucking jerk off. You don't come till I tell you $5,000. You can get fucking creative. Half of you want everything done for you, but I've given you the 5 main things that you can apply, both as a creator and a manager. But more so than that, the best thing that you could do is join the fucking hive mind. You will save a mass amount of time and make a shitload more money. But the 5 things, let me recap them for you so that you have them in your head. Pricing, number 1. 2, active workouts. Make sure you're putting in the fucking reps. 3, client acquisition. Understanding how to find clients and how to attract better quality leads. This should be a never-ending search, by the way. You should never be you should always be trying to improve on this. It's not something that you tick off, okay? It's not something that you just tick. Pricing, you should be charging a premium. You should be constantly testing, okay? Active workouts, something that you do tick off. You're saying, well, I'm putting in more work each week and I'm hiring more people. We're handling more volume, okay? This third thing right here, client acquisition, is something that you're not just ticking off. It's not a tick off thing. It's something that you're constantly improving on. How can I get lower CPCs? How can I get lower CPMs? How can I attract better leads? How can I optimize landing pages? How can I optimize titles? How can I A/B split test? The next thing, churn mitigation, a never-ending task. How can I get my churn rate lower? Essentially, the best thing you could possibly have, and if you don't have it, you should be working at it, is a 0% churn. Every single person who signs up and buys from you never leaves. They never quit. If you have churn, you have a problem to continue working on. So if you say to me, oh, well, you know, I have someone handling all the messaging and this, I don't know what I need to be working on. Do you have any churn? Yeah. Do you have even 1% churn? Yeah. Work on that. And it's far more profitable to control churn most of the time compared to client acquisition once you have some subscribers. So you need to be working on churn mitigation. And then the last thing, a value ladder. Make sure you have a fucking value ladder. All the way up. That's it. I've got some phone calls to return to the Rooney spaceman in the back, and I've got one more reaction video to drop for the day. We are fucking humming. We have it all done before fucking 12:30. What a big G. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you join the hive, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Pucker.